Hello, Stephanie Zima here, my way of life coaching. And today I want to talk to you about why overthinking is going to cost you money in 2026, okay? And why you need to stop it. All right, before I dive in, if you're new to me, I am Stephanie Zima, mentor in the Walk It Free program where we heal, connect, and level up. And my mission is to help the 80% of online entrepreneurs that are actually wanting and desiring to build something, but for some reason, one way or another, are not able to take movement and find attraction and get something going to actually call themselves an entrepreneur. So many real estate agents, so many insurance agents, so many network marketers, social sellers, everyone who's trying to build something online, even people that are selling on TikTok shop or maybe selling on Etsy or maybe selling on eBay. People who are selling stuff are wanting to do this because we recognize the opportunity. We recognize that we are able to sell stuff online using social media, being in our house with our babies, and we love that idea. But for some reason, we're not able to make it happen, right? You are not making the millions that you thought you were going to make. And for some reason, you are not able to get actually anything building. And that is where I want to help. This is where my system, the Walk It Free system, the Heal, Connect, and Level Up 3-step system is going to help every one of you to become clear, to become confident, and to actually take the action you need to actually also succeed, right? All right, now diving into why our overthinking is costing us money. So what happens when you are overthinking, when you are looking at alone your goal, right? I had a coaching session this morning and we were talking about the goals, and I could tell right off the bat that they were the goals were all what we always rehearse, right? We always say, yes, we want this X, Y, and Z, but it was way too flimsy. It was way too flimsy. And that is what many of you are doing. Like, you're having a general idea what you want to accomplish in 2026. And I've done this too. I'm not coming from a judgmental point of view here. I've gone through this struggle. That's why I want to teach on it, because I don't want you to have to suffer any longer than you already are, right? Because if you're anything like me, you've probably been working on this for quite some time and you are like starting to get into this, am I making the right moves? Am I doing this right? Or is anyone else and everyone else who's been telling me that I'm wrong, maybe they are correct. Maybe they are wrong. Maybe I'm not cut out to this, right? All these thoughts can come up, and that's the overthinking. We are thinking this stuff, and these thoughts are creating then emotions in ourselves. So that's doubt, the doubt or despair, or some of us even get depressed, right? Because when we think we are not valuable, that is such a painful thought. Like, if we are not valuable, we are going to lose it all. Like, if we are not valuable, what are we here to do, right? And this is where it can get a really slippery slope. This is where you can take your desire and your ability, and it can actually turn into anxiety and then turn into depression, which then in case you're going to need to go and get help with, or spend other money on other stuff. So it's going to cost you money by you actually not taking the action. You are not making money. You are not able to generate income because you are just going to be stuck. Okay, that's what happens when you overthink. So how do we fix this? We have to get clear on where we are right now. What is our starting point? Well, in 2026, how do we divide it? Do we have 4 quarters that we are going about? Do we go monthly? What is our habits like? Are we already consistent? So many of you have different starting points, and you have never once taken a minute to actually sit down and think, let's be very honest with ourselves. Are we okay? Are we consistent? Do we have the skills? Do we have the clarity? Do we know what we need to do? Do we really have the skills that we need to do, right? If I talk to you about branding, Do you really know what you need to do? Do you know what your 3 content pillars are going to be? Do you know what your content schedule is going to look like? Do you know when you are going to create your content? See, because you need to have marketing. You need to show up somewhere. You got to be visible to people. That's attraction, right? Attraction. You got to have a venue, a way for people to be attracted to you, to see you, you got to show up. Are you doing it on live video? Are you doing it on short form? Are you doing it on long form video? Are you showing up on just posts? How are you showing up? Are you showing up in your stories? Are you showing up in your messenger? So that was attraction. Now we're talking about action. Are you showing up in messenger? Are you talking to people? Are you reaching out? Where do you find the people? See, marketing is it's attraction and action. It's both of those two things. That's under marketing. But then in addition to that, that's one of the aspects of marketing, but you also have got to come up with the ideas. So in order to even know what to post about, what is your brand? What is your content pillars? What is your value? And remember how I talked to you about you having a subconscious belief that you are not valuable? Boom, here we go. This is where it happens, right? You are not taking action because subconsciously you're thinking you are not valuable. And when people are not responding to you, when they ghost you, when they are not, like, these triggers will trigger your wound, your core wound. I am not valuable. They are not wanting what I have. But that is not the problem. Okay, the problem is not that those people don't know what you have. The problem is that you are not clear on what is it that you're wanting to sell and who needs what you have to sell, or who has a problem, right? You can also do it the opposite way of thinking, who has a problem, right? I did that. Who has a problem? The market is very saturated with all these people that are wanting to target the 6-figure income people, right? Everybody wants the people that already are moving, because that's the easy way. Those people are the people that already have 6 figures. They have the money to spend, all those things. This is where most people are focusing on. Well, I want to do something different. I want to target the people that are 80%. I want to give it a try. I want to help those people because I was those people. I was those people. I was you. I was you. I sat there. I didn't know what to do. I was overwhelmed, and it cost me money like crazy because I had to spend over and over and over and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on people that were helping me by giving me skills. No one, however, helped me to put it all together. I had to do that work myself. And yes, you have to do that work yourself, but it can be so hard to do. Okay, it can be so hard to do. And I want to help you. I want to help you not have to do that work by yourself. So you're going to have to do the work by yourself, yes, a little bit, but you also going to get some guidance, right? That's basically what I meant by that. So this is where it costs you money, right? It costs you money if you want to have a skill set. Now, having said that, maybe you are a leader. Maybe you are a leader that says, you know what, I can see this vision. I have this desire. I see it up here, but all my habits are out of control. All my feelings, my thoughts, everything is not really aligned yet, right? It's not aligned yet. I can see it up on the mountaintop, but I don't really know how to get there. Or maybe you know how to get there for yourself, and you see the top, and you're trying to encourage and motivate your team members, and you're like, come on, you see what I see, but they don't see what you see because they have different wounds. They have different thoughts. They have different ways. And you maybe are not able to teach them how to see it for themselves, how to develop their own brand. That's why you also need the market-free mentorship, because you can just come with your team members and everybody can learn the same way, and you're going to benefit from that. So do not overthink getting help, by the way. Do not overthink in getting help, especially not the help that costs you $27 a month. Seriously, come on. $27 a month is what the Freedom Mentorship is all about, right? And If you're overthinking $27 a month for somebody that is able to teach you and show you and teach your team at the same time as you learn without you losing faith. Because see, here's the thing. I know that. I did not, from shame, I did not want to reach out and ask a lot of questions because I didn't know what I wanted to say. And I didn't want anyone to know what I didn't know. I didn't want anyone to know that I had no clue. I didn't want anyone to know that I didn't have any habits. I didn't want anyone to know any of that stuff. I would have never spoken up in a room, in a mastermind setting, because it was too painful for me to recognize that I didn't have it. Now I know, so I can talk about it. Now I fixed that problem. But for me, that was a big problem, and shame was a big, huge thing. And so I couldn't speak up about it. I couldn't talk about it. But what I wish I would have had would have been something that I could have said in a one-on-one setting, but I could not afford that because the people that I really wanted to help from, they were so expensive. I couldn't afford that. Okay, so I created something that will actually help you ask the one-on-one questions. So when you have that problem that you're feeling ashamed because your system is not in place, your habits are not in place, maybe you will have some things that you want to talk in private about, I've got you. Okay, reach out to me and I'll show you the exact system that we're going to do this with. So that way you have that problem solved. Okay, so for you to come in with your team for $27 each, right? This is a no-brainer. No-brainer if you want to have something. Now, overthinking $27 a month is going to cost you money because eventually, you are not going to have the results that you want because you're not clear. You're not having clarity on what am I going to post. Therefore, you don't have attraction. Therefore, you don't have anybody reaching out to you. You do not have conversations. And we all know that conversations in Messenger will translate into sales if you are going to be able to follow through with them, keep track of it, and that's where your habit piece comes in, right? If you're not tracking, if you're not keeping track, you know, they used to tell us all, oh, do it flexible, do it in the nooks and crannies of the day. Flexibility is one great aspect and benefit if you have the skill set. If you have the skill set, it's fantastic. See, I can go travel and I can still work. I can be in a hospital with my daughter and I can still work. I can be downstairs, upstairs, in my bedroom, in my closet, and I can be wherever I want to be and I can still work. Why? Because I have the skill set developed. Okay? It's a skill set that you develop, that you learn. It's important that you learn this skill set, right? You have to believe in yourself by being okay with where you are right now, identifying that you do have a desire to better yourself and learn a profession. Sales is a profession, right? You have to learn that. Then you've got to be honest with yourself where you are at right now, and you can do that in private. And then from there, you connect with what is it that I want to do? What are my content pillars? How do I want to show up? What is my mission? What am I talking about? What am I passionate about? You see, none of this is scripted. It's because I burn for it. I burn for helping you to walk it free. I burn for it. I want you to have the resources to pay for whatever it is you want. I don't want you to live with scarcity anymore. I don't want you to live with fear about finances. I do not want you to live in frustration that you are dependent on somebody toxic and you can't get out because you are afraid to leave because you have no finances. That is what I'm fired up about, and I want to help you. And I know that building a business, being in sales, having confidence in yourself is going to get that for you. It's going to help you. It's going to give you the options that you're looking for, but you can't have those options if you don't build your foundational level, if you are not building yourself up. You're not going to get there. You need to come off this roller coaster and you need to start understanding where you are right now. Build a solid foundation so you can build that house. And whether or not that house is in insurance, whether or not that house is in marketing, I mean, in network marketing, whether or not that house is in real estate or in the TikTok shop or in whatever high ticket sales, affiliated influencer, it doesn't matter what it is. In the end, even if you want to be an influencer, right? Yes, and you're going for followers, and I know there's a lot of different ways of doing things and getting brand deals. I'm not pretending to know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. That's not my business. My business is teaching you how to have a great foundation so you can get those skills from somebody else. But I do know that if you're overthinking your goals, if you're not even setting goals, if you don't know what to do and how to do it and how to bounce back emotionally and how to stop your scarcity and step into an abundance growth mindset instead of fixed mindset, I know if you do not have mindset mastery, you will not win in any business, as a matter of fact. In any business, you will not win. You've got to learn how to have confidence in yourself. You got to learn how to have the bottom structure, how to be disciplined, how to fulfill your emotional needs so you can keep going. And know you need to build an intrinsic motivation, meaning a motivation from inside of you, because you are not going to if you're going to the top, you're not going to have people all the time telling you, oh yeah, you did good. You have that maybe for a little while you're in a mentorship program, maybe. Hint hint, right? You may have that then, that somebody builds you and does it. But as you build up, as you build yourself up, you are going to need to have that intrinsic motivation so you can build it yourself. You're going to become the leader, right? Okay, I hope this was valuable to you. Drop in the comments what your thoughts are about this. Let me know in Messenger. Send me a message if you resonated with this. Let's talk. If you have questions, ask me, please. I want to help you. I want to help the 80% succeed because I do know you're valuable. I do know that you are capable. Maybe you don't believe this yet. I know you are. I know you are destined for more. You are destined to do this. You are here to level up. Okay? All right. I see you tomorrow.